Secretary Geurts, whenever you come and testify, you continue to reassure us, and as the chair said, we don't want to shoot the messenger, but it's very clear that Congress has an intention to move us to a 355-ship Navy, and that's not where we're heading. And we get all of these, I don't know what, explanations, you're making things a lot more efficient, your acquisition program, et cetera. But we're still not told how we're going to get to 355 ships. So that's the thing, you see. It's very frustrating for us to sit here and go through this year after year. Okay, so I want to focus again on modernizing the public shipyards, because even as we get to our 355-ship Navy, most of us have talked about how important it is to maintain what we already have. And if our shipyards don't have the kind of modernized situations, including for Hawaii, we need a new dry dock, we need a production facility, because our workers there have to travel, they have to go all over the place to get the parts that they need to repair the submarines and everything else. And so we need a production facility, and that was taken out of the one that was planned was taken out of the budget, and the hope is that the new one is going to be built at the same time frame as the previous one was going to be built. So, I want to know if the fiscal 21 budget fully funds the shipyard modernization plan, and that goes for all 4 shipyards. I mean, all of the shipyards are in this together. I'm not just talking about the Pearl Harbor shipyard. I'm talking about all the other 3 shipyards. We all need to be going together. So is there money in the fiscal year 21 budget to fully fund the modernization plan?
Yes, Senator Hirono. In fiscal year 21, we've got roughly $500 million, $448 million specifically, towards that shipyard optimization plan. That is a combination of military construction, recapitalizing equipment, and then working on our planning for the future. The Navy's committed to recapitalizing the shipyards. We started first by bringing on the workforce we needed, and that workforce is doing a tremendous job. We're at about 36,000 north of that workers. We brought them on earlier than planned.
So, Mr. Secretary,
Yep.
So the question is if the modernization plan is being fully funded, and is that amount that you're telling me, does that fully fund the modernization program going forward from fiscal year 21, for fiscal year 21?
Yes, Senator Hirono, for the requirements we have right now, it fully funds us.
Okay.
We have a large program to come, but for 21, that's fully funded.
All right. Are you considering any changes to the plan to accelerate specific capability expansion or specific productivity enhancements in view of the ship maintenance problems you are facing?
So as we build, as you know, we're building digital models of all the shipyards to identify where the biggest bang for the buck is in terms of how do we get more efficient with the workforce we have in place. As those studies and area plans come together, we'll look to accelerate where we get the biggest return on those investments, while understanding we have some large capital projects, dry dock replacements we're going to have to do as well.
So it might be instructive for us to know specifically what kind of things that you are doing to expand and your capability, the capability at our shipyards. I mean, it's one thing to be told verbally, but I'd like to know specifically. So what have you done? I mean, to me, having a production facility, that is a very concrete way to effect efficiencies. So can you?
Yes, ma'am. If I just kind of walk around the world, right?
Not today.
Yes, ma'am. We're happy to go in whatever level of detail you like.
Okay, for a number of years now, the Navy's long-term goal for fleet size was a 308-ship fleet, and after publication of the CNO's last force structure assessment, the goal was reset to 355 ships. And of course, we are very much on it because we actually put that number into the law, and I can thank the former chair of this committee for making sure that that's in the law. And the chair has already mentioned that we don't have the information we need. The plan that was supposed to be submitted to us is not before us, and it's we'd like to know what you all have in mind. So I just want to add my concern to that expressed by the chair, that we need the reports that should be coming to us. So I indicated in my opening statement, the Navy recently signed a multi-year procurement contract for Block 5 of the Virginia-class attack submarine. And there is an option to buy a 10th boat if the Navy has the resources, and if the contractors improve performance on the program. I think you get that we are very concerned about that only one submarine being produced. So I am concerned that the window of opportunity for exercising the option to buy a 10th boat may pass. But I'm also concerned about what criteria the Navy would use to award the 10th boat if additional funds were provided. So my question to you is, Secretary Geurts, if Congress were to authorize a second Virginia-class boat in fiscal year 21, what criteria would you use to decide whether the contractor team that's currently in place has earned an award for the 10th boat?
Yes, ma'am. When we talked previously, I was concerned about execution, and I was concerned about putting Columbia at risk, which is our highest priority. Since that time, the company and the program has showed much improved performance. At this point, it's not an execution issue for me. It's a pure affordability issue. And so if the funds were there, I would have no reservation with putting those funds on contract and adding that 10 ship to the multi-year. So at this point, it's not a criteria to add it other than a pure affordability issue, which is why we had it #1 on our unfunded priority list.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.